Welcome to episode 2 of creating a full Space Marine chapter. Today we're doing the first company. My name's you, we're the Average Painters. You see the title, let's get conversions. With today's episode, I thought I'd do something a little bit different with the voiceover. I thought I would talk in front of the camera and then put some layers over the top. So please let me know how you think that it goes and whether you like it or not. But yeah, anyway, straight to the conversions. So yeah, I'm starting off with the Honor Guard Captain, which I'm using the base of the Ancient from Company Heroes. First thing that I do is build the Ancient basically up from head to toe, leaving out the arms that hold the banner and his backpack, which you will see in a minute why. After that, I kind of get the company champion's arms and have a little bit of a play around to see if that fits the best and how that kind of goes, because I like the idea of him holding this two-handed weapon and him kind of having this kind of stoic stood still pose. Blending those two kits together to kind of create that one unit. But as you can see, the arms don't quite line up, and the tabard thing, like the purity seal that is on the Ancient, is getting in the way, so I've had to completely remove one of them. I did keep the other one just because I thought it looked quite cool. Just on the Captain. It also separates the model a little bit from the original one, which is kind of the idea of what I wanted. I don't want you to look at this model and go, that's an Ancient with X, Y, Z added to it. Managed to get it fit with relative ease, so it is quite a simple conversion, this one. So yeah, what I failed to mention in all of that is actually how I did it. I could have voiced over this and you wouldn't know the wiser, but I am a dum-dum and I thought I would let you know that, basically. So yeah, as you can see on the screen, I got a separate arm. So this is a completely separate arm. It's just a regular Tacticus Intercessor arm. And all I did was just chop the arm off just by the elbow and then trim and file it down. And all that allowed me to do then is fit essentially that wrist area that is missing from the Ancient into place, just to connect it to the elbow of the Ancient, which is already there. Because essentially you've got a elbow joint and a half a wrist joint, so all I needed to do was fit it out. If you've got putty, you can probably use that, but when you have hundreds of Tacticus arms lying around, it's kind of just easy enough to cut that off and put it together. But this is the final look of it with the blue tack. It fits a lot nicer when the blue tack's not there, so don't worry if sometimes when you're blue tacking stuff it looks a little bit weird. Try and use as little blue tack as you possibly can. I find a shoulder pad that I'm happy with that actually fits the shoulder, because that was quite a difficult task because the Ancient's got the Bladeguard size. You can again file it down, cut it down to get one that fits, but I kind of just fancied leaving that shoulder as is. I then find a bit from Archie's Forge, which is a Black Templar shoulder pad that is kind of like a half shoulder pad. I don't inherently know what it's for, like the original kit, but I managed to get that on and fill the gap between his cloak and the shoulder pad. So yeah, then the next thing that I do is jump over to the Warhammer exclusive box to get the backpack from that Captain and add it to that one, because I wanted it to be a really unique character in my army. Obviously there is only one Honor Guard Captain out there, so I kind of wanted to make it look special. And then on the theme of that, I then deliberated over multiple heads, asking relatively 5 or 6 people what they thought, and effectively coming up to the conclusion that I made a great Grand Master or Lieutenant for a Dark Angels unit. So I'm definitely going to have to do this kit again, but get some Inner Circle Companions bits to create more of a Dark Angels look. It looks incredible with Azrael's kind of winged helmet. It looks like the old Balthazar kit. So if you wanted that as a conversion, this is kind of the way forward that you can go with it. Very simple, just arm swap and then the head on the top, and you've got what you want. Once I was happy with the head that I'd chosen, I went with a hooded head. Yeah, it is a bit Dark Angels theme, but I do kind of think that it fits with all of the robes on him and all the cloaks and everything like that. So that's the kind of look that I've gone for. Even with that, I tried to pick a head that had a bit more of a Templar theme than the old Dark Angels one. Again, as you'll see when we move on to the Honor Guard, that he does look different to them. He doesn't have the same kind of look that they have, because I've gone with particular heads for those that kind of tie into Bladeguard a little bit more. Quickly, before we go on to the next conversion, I did convert myself a High Chaplain. I didn't film this, although I wish I had at the end. He's going to be able to play with the second company, who are my Black Templar army, as Grimaldis, but for the rest of the time he can still be a Chaplain. I put a bolt pistol on the side of him just to kind of make it look like he could have the plasma pistol or a normal Absolver bolter. And then I jumped into the Sword Brethren kit, which gave us the relic that he's holding and the cape that he's got around him, a normal embossed shoulder pad to kind of give it more of a substantial look. I wanted to go for this conversion more of a, this is something you buy from GW, not that any of the other ones aren't, but this kind of kit I wanted it to look a lot more like store-bought. So it's got that moulded shoulder pad with the cape wrapped around it, as you'd normally get with the character, which means I don't have to kind of mess about cutting half decals and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to keep the silhouette for Grimaldis the same, but I didn't want to keep it looking like Grimaldis, so you kind of had the distinction if you weren't looking at it fully. So I went with the golden, well, I went with the backpack from the Sword Brethren kit, and I am in the process of chopping off the Crozius and putting a normal one on to make it look again a little bit less like it's Grimaldis. And then again jumping into Archer's Forge for the head. Amazing kits as always. Love the guys over there. I'm bitterly disappointed that they've had so much of their stock kind of taken away from them, because they are such an amazing company out there that really enhances GW's stock, in my opinion, rather than taking anything away from them. But I understand it from GW's point of view of why they might want to do that. Yeah, that's kind of a conversation for another day. Jumping over to the Bladeguard that we got, I have based the bodies off the Sword Brethrens that I've got, because I wanted that kind of cloak look to fit with the Honor Guard Captain. Again, I realised halfway through this I'm making some incredible Dark Angels, so it might have to be the case that I try and scrub all of this iconography off and then get some more for Inner Circle Companions, or use the Inner Circle Companion kit to make more Bladeguard. The only problem is with that is the shields, so you kind of need to try and find some third-party bits for either the shields or the hand locking mechanisms, as you'll kind of see in a bit, which is a bit of a pain for this kit. I love the Bladeguard. They give you so many options, but I don't understand why there's not as many options to swap hands. I built the Sword Brethren up to this point. As you can see, his body is completely built up and his cape is built as well. I then used the arm for the Sword Brethren just to make sure that the cape lined up, and I kind of wanted every one of them to look unique, so him having the chains didn't really bother me too much. I then jumped over to the Bladeguard kit and plasma pistols that's got the back of the hand missing, and then chopped the knob off the one for the Sword Brethren and attached them together. Then for the other arm, I jumped into the Bladeguard kit and just simply attached Bladeguard kit, Bladeguard arm with the shield, as the Sergeant normally has, with then a Bladeguard backpack and with the Space Marine head from the upgrade kit. And then that left me with the Sergeant here. Kind of tried to get him in a pose where he was running with his shield up and ready to fire his bolter. He's got his sword attached to his belt so he can get it if he needs it. With all of these conversions, I have tried to keep the Bladeguard shields the same. It's been quite difficult because I have 6 that I can build and obviously only 3 shields. One of them is going to be the Deathwatch one, so that's kind of solved a problem for another one. I haven't finished, as of time of recording, the last couple of them. So I don't really know what's going to do with them. I do have a couple of other shields that I can use, but I'm not really sure if I want to use those or not, because I wanted to keep the silhouette so simple, or so similar, sorry, to the Bladeguard. Because when you kind of start mixing these kits, it can be very difficult to be like, is that a Sword Brethren or a Bladeguard? If they're both on the table at the same time, I want you to be able to go, that's a Bladeguard, got the Bladeguard shield, got the Bladeguard sword, you've just given it a cape basically, which is why I've kept the backpacks the same. So it's just kind of relative ease for whoever you're playing against to kind of identify that, as well as you also identify. I'm going to try and mix the power weapons up. As you've seen from secret level, they don't necessarily have to have the sword. I'm just going to be trying to be very particular with what I use. I would love to give one a power fist or lightning claws, but that's not an option for them, which I think is a bit of a shame, because I would love to have a Bladeguard with a power fist. I think that would be really cool. Like, you could either opt for the sword and a plasma pistol, or you could do a power fist instead. That kind of fits really nice for me. That kind of links in then with the lieutenant, and then you kind of have that key structure. For me, it's a bit weird that they're like, oh yeah, we only like swords. But yeah, with the next one, I've done pretty much the same. Built the body up and attached a Bladeguard left arm with Bladeguard right arm, then the backpack, and wrap the cape around to get the cape to fit nicely, as well as an Archie's Forge head that kind of had that Bladeguard look while also being very distinct and unique. Again, all of these characters, well, all of these are supposed to be characters, not just a unit, because that's kind of the first company way. Every model, even if it's the Terminators, which I'm building basically as base, need to have something that makes them unique to them. That's kind of how I envision the first company looking. I don't know if that's just my Dark Angels nature kind of coming in, and Deathwing being like, we don't really have squads, it's just Deathwing, and it's everyone just gets painted in their personal heraldry and then they just go out. But yeah, to combat that, I kind of paint squad markings on them. So hopefully with these guys, I'll probably do the same so I can identify which squad's what if they're running close together. So kind of just a pattern that gets put on them in a different location. But I'm not sure if I want to do that, because I might want to run them as a squad of 3 or a squad of 6. But as I said, I've got the Ancient that I've still yet to build and use. So what I think I might do is build him as a... But he's probably going to be Sternguard, because all of the Bladeguard veterans are going to be Sternguard as well as the rest of the company heroes. The company veterans that are in there are also going to be turned into just regular Sternguard. And then if I do run them as company heroes, because the base size is different for some reason, I could just put them on an extra base and just make sure that the base size is the correct size. All the weapon options across the board for all of the Sternguard, and then kind of just mix and match what I want. So not all of the company heroes need to have the guy with the robotic arm holding the pistol up there, and they don't need to have the heavy bolter guy in the same pose for every single one. So the idea that I've got is every company veteran that goes out isn't a company veteran, it's a Sternguard who is loaned in from the first company to essentially guard and protect the key areas of the chapter. So chapter master, or if he's there, or the captain of that company. And that's kind of the role that I'm taking on with the Sternguard. So there's more Sternguard, there's more Bladeguard, and there's less Terminators in this army. So yeah, I'm making it a lot different to my Deathwing, which is pretty much predominantly Terminators with a little bit of Bladeguard and a tiny bit of Sternguard. To kind of have that different fighting style there, it's definitely a more of a ranged army that I wanted to go for. That needs to play a bit more tactically than the Deathwing, which is get down, get stuck in, get dirty. But yeah, that's all of the conversion that we got for the first company. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a separate video of painting all of them up. Hopefully what I'll do in that video as well is do almost a showcase for every single unit in the first company that you will be able to see. As per the feedback, I wanted it to be a little bit more in depth than it was from the last video. So what I've done is I've split it into the 2 videos. You've got this one, and you're going to have a painting video just dedicated to those. Please let me know if that's something that you prefer, so you get the look of the models in this one if you're really into the converting, and then you've got the painting video coming up in what will be called a week. We do have an exciting project as well that is launching. As you might be able to tell, there's a lot of terrain on this board at this moment in time from a game that I was testing, and tune in for a video about that in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Let us know in the comments what conversions you would like to see us do. Let us know in the comments below what conversions you would like to see next, and in the next video we will be spinning the wheel to see what company we get. So I'm very excited to see where this lands and takes us. But yeah, thank you very much. See you in the next one. And what we'll get doing in the next video is we'll be spinning the wheel again. We'll be seeing what company Welcome to episode 2 of creating a full Space Marine chapter. My name's you, we're the Average Painters. Let's get some Let's get some conversions. And that's got the back of that. One of the heads from the Space Marines upgrade kit. But yeah, I've got like the ancient and stuff that I could build up. They're probably going to be stone guard because all the